Hey guys, welcome to the quick little session on the histology of the respiratory system. There we go. Got to get myself ready to go here. Trying to record these videos. Hopefully you are enjoying them, listening to them as much as I am enjoying making them. I don't know if that's even possible. This is just too much fun here. So, what are we doing? We're going to look at the histology of two organs, the trachea, which we have here, and also the lung itself. So this is the trachea right here. In this trachea, come on, there we go. In this trachea, I want to point out a couple things. Number one, we're going to have the lumen of the trachea up here. That's our lumen right there. And then we're going to have our mucosa of our trachea. And in our mucosa, we're going to find an epithelial lining. That epithelial lining, which I put a beautiful green arrow on, is pseudo-stratified, ciliated, columnar epithelial tissue. Pseudo-stratified meaning it is only one layer. Ciliated meaning there are cilia here. There are extensions. We'll zoom in on them in a moment. And we'll get a little more detail on an epithelium in a second. We do see down here a lot of glandular tissue. There are going to be mucus and serous glands in the trachea. Now, the main thing to secrete is mucus. We want mucus lining our trachea so that we are able to filter air, in other words, like capture pathogens and particles and dust and things, but also we want to humidify the air, add moisture to it so we don't dry out our lungs, and we want to warm the air up so we don't make our lungs too cold. All right, underneath this glandular tissue, we have a fairly big area. This fairly big area right here, which I am going to put a bigger green arrow on, is tracheal cartilage. Tracheal cartilage is hyaline cartilage. Its job is to prevent the trachea from collapsing when we breathe in. Okay? We don't want the trachea to collapse in on itself when we breathe in, so we reinforce with cartilage. Now, there is something to point out about this cartilage. It is not a ring around the trachea. Instead, it is C-shaped. And what that does is, why we have that C, or rather, we have that C. Sorry, I need to fix this in post-production here. When we have that C, the cartilage is C-shaped, meaning there is no cartilage in the back. There is soft tissue in the back of the trachea. And that's because the esophagus sits there, and the presence of the esophagus there means the esophagus needs room to expand when we swallow a big bolus of food. All right. Also, what I got here is the anchoring layer of connective tissue on this guy as well. That is our adventitia, which is going to attach the trachea to the esophagus and other surrounding structures. All right, cool. Let us zoom in on this guy. Let us zoom in. There we go. We zoomed in on the epithelium. This is beautiful epithelium that we're looking at here. It is pseudo-stratified, ciliated, columnar epithelial tissue. Look at these cilia up here. Gosh, these are gorgeous cilia. Cilia, of course, sweep. Cilia are going to sweep upwards. They're going to sweep superiorly. They're going to sweep primarily the mucus. There is going to be mucus here. Now, you might be wondering, from where did that mucus come? Where did that mucus arise? And what I've got right here, this is a perfect example. This is a goblet cell. I see like a bunch of goblet cells here. This is one goblet cell. Goblet cells make mucus. So, this is our beautiful pseudo-stratified, ciliated columnar epithelium with goblet cells. Gorgeous. All right, let's keep going. Here, we've got another view. It just looks a little bit different. Let's throw our pointer on here. We have cilia right here, right there, lots of cilia. I see a goblet cell right there. And of course, this whole thing is my pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium with goblet cells. All right, cool. Let's look at another organ now, because we're done the trachea, and now we got the lungs. This is a beautiful view of the lung. In our lung, we are going to see little clusters of C-shaped structures. I'm drawing a C right here. That C is on an alveolus. An alveolus. The alveolus is the basic respiratory unit of the lung. It is where gas exchange happens. We'll often find blood vessels, see little red blood cells there, associated with these alveoli. I said we'll often find, well, they're always there, we just don't always see them. The alveoli are made of simple squamous epithelial tissue. Simple squamous because it is super skinny, one tiny layer that is great for gas exchange. Now, let's clear this. Let's look at one more pic. A little uglier picture here, but still fairly nice. I see lots of alveoli here as well, lots of alveoli. When I have clusters of alveoli, that is known as an alveolar sac. So if I labeled a bunch of alveoli together, that would be an alveolar sac. All right, guys, that is actually it for respiratory histology. We looked at the trachea, and then we looked at the lung. That's not too bad. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.